you know, what happens when you plateau and you try and break that plateau is usually at the beginning you dip, right? And you go down. But then what happens if you're, so, you know, let's say that you've grown to a certain point and now you're plateaued, and let's say that you've been here for, you know, 3 to 6 months and you've sort of been at the same level. And what usually happens is, in order for you to get to the next level, which might be up here, is you usually have to go down a little bit. Because, like, you know, you're going to have to start investing stuff, you're going to make slightly less profit, you're going to make a ton of mistakes, and they're going to cost you a lot of money. But what happens is, because people get used to a certain sort of emotional state here, which is basically just comfort, as soon as they start dipping, they then revert back to this behavior to get back to the point in which they were before. If that makes sense. So what you need to learn to do is sort of weather this emotional storm. Like, we're doing this at the moment where, like, you know, we're now spending like 10 grand a day on ads. We're like trying to aggressively hire sales teams. We're making a ton of mistakes, losing more money than we used to. Revenue can dip slightly. And like, if we're not careful, you just aim to seek back to that sort of comfortable zone, if that makes sense. Yeah.
A few times now.
Yeah, and then you kind of revert back to your old behavior and you start going back to the plateau because, you know, for a lot of entrepreneurs, this is the safety net, right?